Hey everyone, it's Owen here from OTech, and today I'll be unboxing this Asrock FM2 Plus motherboard. This is for a budget build that I'm going to do, so I'm just gonna do the unboxings of the parts first. You can find all the other parts unboxing in my unboxing playlist, and so let's get on to seeing this board. Okay, so on the front itself, it shows some features. And this isn't a high-end board, so the features are, the basic low-end board features. So full spike protection, ESD protection, that's good, since anti-static discharge could break your motherboard, and this has protection from, say, a USB stick that has electrostatic discharge from your hands or something. And it has Asrock App Shop, which is basically like a Asrock made app store, which is all free inside, like simple stuff like Chrome, not really necessary, but okay, I guess. Pcie 3.0, this isn't really a feature these days, but for low-end boards it is. 3.0 is kind of rare on cheap boards. USB 3.0 and SATA 3, again, not usually a feature, but since this is a budget board, it is. Also flexible USB 2.0. So what I understand is basically this board only has USB 3.0 on the back, and it just has a 2.0 USB for internal, but it has like a 3.0 header so that you can connect it up to newer cases. So this board, as you can guess from the name itself, has the A68H chipset from AMD, and it supports the AMD A series APUs and also AMD Athlon CPUs. So on the back itself, you can see all the features yet again, solid capacitor, and basically the same stuff again. So I guess let's get on and look at the board itself. So inside you see minimal packaging, since this is a low-end cheap board. Just an IO bracket, 2 SATA plugs, cables, just nice, since a lot of cheap boards sometimes only give you one cable, so 2 is nice. The manual and also the driver disk, which again, as always, you should throw away and just download the latest of the AMD website or Asrock website for in this case. And under that is just the motherboard itself in an anti-static wrap. So no packaging, foam or any more thick cardboard, since this is a cheap board, and it's kind of concerning since it might get shipped and kind of moved around and knocked on things, and it might break the board. But if it's broken, you can pretty much just claim it to Asrock, and it's their loss. So yeah, here's the board itself. It has like a foam padding on the bottom, which is, I guess it's a nice touch. At least there's some kind of protection for the board. Now for the board itself, you can see that this is a pretty simple motherboard. It has a 4-pin CPU connector instead of the usual typical 8-pin one, and just a simple 3+2 power phase. So I'm guessing 3 for the CPU and 2 for the iGPU if you're using an APU, and 1 phase for the RAM slots, which in that there are 2 of them, and they're all double-sided clips, which it isn't the best thing ever, since I prefer single-sided RAM clips for the RAM slots, since sometimes the first graphics card blocks the second clips on the RAM slots. But again, it's a cheap board, so I guess they cut corners somewhere. And again, now there's the typical ATX 24-pin connector, the so-called flexible 2.0 USB internal header, which is in a USB 3.0 form factor, so you can connect it up to a USB 3.0 front panel header. And then a bunch of SATA ports, 4 of them, SATA 3, and the power and reset connectors for the front panel, and 2 USB 2 ports, and I'm not sure what's this, but I think it's called the COM port, and also the audio connector. Now in here you can also, this is the audio connector, and this is some other connector. So you also got 2 PCIe slots, one X16 for your graphics card 3.0, and one X1 2.0 for auxiliary stuff. You know, I would expect them to put it there so that you can use the dual slot graphics card and still use the second PCIe slot, but I guess they didn't, since this is again a cheap board. But you know, it would be nice if this was here, because right now it would just get blocked by the graphics card. Now there's the PCI slot over here, which I say isn't really ideal, since basically no one these days uses it. But I don't know, maybe if someone's in a budget conscious build, they might use a old PCI slot card or for something that they have lying around from the previous build. So yeah, again, now there's a fan connector over here, 3-pin, one 4-pin CPU fan connector, and another one over here. So pretty limited fan options, but in a budget build, no one's gonna put a shit ton of fans anyway, so this is fine. On the back itself, there's two USB 2.0 headers connectors, a PS2 port that's combined for the keyboard and mouse, a DVI port, a VGA port, two USB 3.0 ports, two USB 2.0 ports, and also an Ethernet port, and the audio in and outs. So no digital audio, and also no HDMI, because this is a cheap board. So yeah, that's what you gotta do when you get a cheap board, and that's what you get, because money doesn't lie, and you get what you pay for. But yeah, overall, actually this is a pretty nice board. And if you're using a discrete GPU, you're gonna get all the usual digital signal outputs for your monitor, so that's not a problem. But if you're using an APU, you might be kind of limited, though you can always adapter off the DVI port. Now, for the board itself, it has a black finish, which I guess is a nice touch considering the price of this board. There's no brown ugly traces coming through the finish, so that's nice. And I guess this will look good in pretty much all builds that you might do on a budget build. But yeah, that's that's about it for this board. So thanks for watching. If you want to see me build a computer using this board, you can click the video up there, and also you can see how well this board overclocks, since apparently all AMD boards supports overclocking, and I'm going to try that, a BCLK overclock, not a multiplier overclock, since I'm going to pair this with an Athlon X4845. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you do, and please subscribe to see more of my videos. Thanks again.